Hey everybody, come on in. Welcome. Good to see you. Happy Friday, everybody. It's long weekend coming up. It's the 4th of July weekend. It's going to be a great weekend. Hey, real quick, in the comments, let me know, are you guys getting Monday off? I'm just curious. I know some vet clinics are doing it. Some vet clinics are not. I hope you are. And if you're not, then know that you're doing good in the world, and that people are going to need your help. And thank you for doing that and stepping up, to take care of pets and people. So thank you for that, guys. I appreciate it. I have been loving talking to you guys on Fridays. If you have questions for me about practice, about life, things like that, you're like, I'd like to hear Annie's opinion. I'm happy to share my opinion. I make no promises about the wisdom therein, but I am happy to talk with you about it. But yeah, just ask me in the comments, and I love it. Cool. Sweet. Missy Ann is like, yep, I own my business, and now I'm taking Monday off. That's awesome. Okay, so I got one from the mailbag, and I want to share it with you. So I got this question last week, I think. How do you juggle family and work at a healthy balance? How do you shut off when you walk through the front door after a tough day? And vice versa. Hey, Jason, good to see you, man. So let's talk about this, guys. So healthy life balance, balancing family and home. How do you shut it off when you come through the front door after a hard day? The first thing you got to do is, I think we got to get a better perspective on life balance, right? I think most of us, are way too hard on ourselves. And I think here's the truth. I think the idea that you're going to have a life balance day is probably false. I think we have this idea that, like, I'm going to go to work for 8 hours, and then I'm going to have 4 hours of family time, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to be the loving parent that I'm supposed to be, and then I'm going to exercise for 1 hour, and then I'm going to do an hour of reading and relaxation time, and then I'm going to go and sleep 8 hours. And it's like, that's not going to happen, right? That is like the perfect life balance day, and if you get it, that's great. The idea that that's supposed to be normal and you're failing if you don't do that, that's ridiculous. Okay, so I don't really like this term life balance, because it makes me feel like I'm supposed to get it right every day, and you're just not going to. I just don't think that's how life works. When I talk about life balance and think about life balance, for me, the analogy that really helps me is waves. Like, I think of tides at the ocean, and I think we all go through tides in our lives, and there are times when the tide is high, and I work all the time. And there's times when it's low, and it's up to me when the tide is low is to have those meaningful moments, to be there and really engage, right? I can't be perfect to everybody every day. And so, I hear people who are doing an internship, and they're like, I don't have any life balance. And I'm like, no, you don't. And you're not going to, because the tide is high, my friend, and that's what you sign up for. And this year, you're going to work your face off. And that's okay. As long as you take a longer view and go, yeah, the tide is high. In the future, we're going to ratchet this down, and I'm going to have a low tide time to make up for this. Like, I am going to, I'm paying my dues now, and this is not sustainable. And so I'm going to take it back down in the future and be intentional about it and do it. And I think that that's really the key. I think a lot of us are looking around like COVID in the summer, and we're like, I don't have work-life balance. I'm working myself to death right now. Yeah, we need to be careful about our boundaries, and we should not be working ourselves to death right now. But everybody's working hard right now. That doesn't mean that this is how it's going to be forever, right? We can work hard now and say, man, I'm not getting the time that I want right now. And it's not catastrophic. It doesn't mean we're failing at life. It just means it's high tide. If this keeps up, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do, because we need a low tide too. But I don't think it's a daily battle. I think it's a long-term battle. I think part of it is about us taking the time that we have and being intentional. I think that that's a real struggle for us, right? I think a lot of us are off, but we're not intellectually, mentally off, right? We're at home and we're thinking about the clients that we had. We're thinking about the case that we got going on. We're thinking about the test results that are out. We got to remember to call back blood work. I just realized I have to call back blood work, actually, as I'm just saying this. We got to remember that we got to call back blood work. We have these things, right, that we're not really off. Or we're scrolling on Instagram, and we're off, but we're not really off. And so I think a lot of this is just being present and saying, hey, we're going to really be off here. I'm reading Natalie's comment. What are steps you take to make your employees feel well treated and taking their own pets in for care? All right, maybe we talk about that. That's a good one. All right. Anyway, we got to be intentional about being off, right? We got to be like, hey, look, I'm present with my family now, or this is me time. And the clinic is not going to seep into this. And we have to be strong, right? Because the problem is with text messaging, with us being able to access blood work results on our phone anytime we want, with us being able to log in remotely to the clinic, dude, there's this constant suck into the clinic. And like, we have to decide, like, no, I'm not doing it. And so we have to be able to come home and say, I'm done. This is me time, right? And I'm internalizing it. And so the question was, how do you, after you had a hard day, how do you leave that outside the front door when you walk in? I think everybody has to find their own way. And I think it's a very individual thing. I will tell you, for me, I have a couple of different things that I'll do. I'll come home and I got my butt kicked at the clinic, and I will just sit in the car for a little bit and just listen to some music, or I will just sit and breathe. And I'm talking about 5-10 minutes. But I need to sit and breathe a little bit, and then I just kind of just process and then put it aside. I will come in and put the leash on the dog, and I tell my wife, hey, I had a hard day. I need, let me walk the dog here if you don't mind. And she understands what that means, because we've had that conversation. I'm like, hey, sometimes I'm trying to make a break between my work and my home, and I need to get out, and I will leash up the dog and I'll go walk the dog. And that is my time. And I'm not fighting with the day. I'm breathing through it, and I am processing it, and I am putting it down. And that's what I need to be able to have that line. I'm getting to be a big fan of just coming in and plugging my phone up in the charger and leaving it alone, and just not having it on me. And that is a thing where, subconsciously I pat my pocket looking for it, and it's not there. And thank God, because it frees me up mentally to not be scrolling, to actually be present in what I'm doing. So anyway, everybody has their own things that they do, but that's some of the stuff that really helps me. I think for a lot of the work-life balancing, I think a lot of us have really jacked up relationships with vet medicine. We're in these weird, pseudo-abusive relationships with our job. And it's like, we talk about getting away, and we talk about work and things like that. And I look a lot at working in the practice like having a relationship, right? Like being with a significant other. And it's like, hey, look, I want to be in this relationship. This relationship is important to me. I'm going to make sacrifices to make this relationship important. At the same time, I'm not going to be abused. I'm not going to be taken advantage of. I have boundaries. I'm not going to get walked on, right? That's the relationship that I have with vet medicine. And I think it's good to think that way, right? I am a team player. I want to be a team player. I want to support the clinic. I want to be there when they need me. And at the same time, I am not at your beck and call to drop whatever I'm doing. And what's wonderful is, if you have a good partner, they don't ask you to do that. They say, hey, we want to be in this relationship as well. And we want you to be happy, and we want to be happy. We want your needs to be met, and we want our needs to be met. And I say, that's what I want as well. And that, my friends, is a beautiful relationship. Shout out to Travelers Rest Animal Hospital, because you guys are wonderful, and I love being in a relationship with you. But that's the type of life balance that we're looking at. And I don't want to be in a place where I'm getting taken advantage of. And I don't want to be the jerk in the relationship who's just saying, it's my way or the highway, and you need to give me what I want, and I'm going to take. Nobody wants that. And so it's about finding and striking that relationship and that balance. The last thing I always put out there, one of the things that helps me when we talk about making choices about work-life balance and how do you balance these things, I like the analogy. People talk about there's rubber balls and there's glass balls, and we're all juggling. And one of the things that's important, guys, is to realize what you're juggling that's rubber. Meaning, if you drop it, it'll be fine. It'll bounce back. And what's glass? Meaning, if you drop it, it doesn't bounce back. And that helps us make those choices. And sometimes it's hard about deciding what we want to do. Work is going to bounce back. If you, if you take time off, it'll be there when you come back. There are things in our family. Often our family love us, and if we have to work for a couple of months, we go, oh, we're busting our butts here. This is really a heavy time. They'll still love you. There are times when the family is glass, or when relationships are glass, and we need to protect them. And so just looking at it like that and being like, okay, what's rubber and what's glass, and make the choice. The big takeaways I just want to say here is two things real quick. this is hard. And just know that if you struggle, you're probably doing it right. If you're not struggling, that may be a bad sign. You're supposed to struggle with this. It's supposed to be hard. There's just, life is just challenging, right? I will tell you, for years, I went through this mentality, and I still do, guys, where I'll be in the clinic and I'll be busting my butt and I feel guilty that I'm not doing more stuff at home or for myself. And then I'll get some time off, or I'll get some downtime, or things will slow down, and then I'll feel guilty because I'm not working as hard as I could. Like I could apply myself more. It's ridiculous, but I feel like a lot of us always feel that way. And so don't feel bad if you're struggling. Like we always struggle with this. And the last thing is just to be kind to yourself. This is a lifelong process, and be honest, be in a healthy relationship, take care of yourself, but just know, this is going to be something where you're doing your best, and you will always look back and wonder if you could have done it differently, I think. So anyway, that's all I got, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. It's wonderful to see you guys. If you have any other questions for me, put them in the comments. I'm always happy to talk. I saw some good stuff coming in, and I love doing this. So guys, take care, be well, have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you guys later on, okay? Bye.